Welcome to Bitcoin Technical Analysis. Today we're with George and Tone from Brave New Coin. Thanks a lot for coming on today, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
And so, George, you wanted to talk about Bitcoin, interest rates, and a few other things, right?
Yeah, so I'm just going to start right off with Bitcoin. Usually I don't talk too much about it, but this week I will, and I'm pretty bullish actually. And I'll tell you why. I follow volume. For me, volume precedes price, and I'm looking at the OBV on Bitcoin, and I'm looking at the volume, and it's been extraordinarily high over the last couple of weeks, and I'm seeing in the OBV highest levels I've seen in a long time since we fell back in 2014. So I'm getting bullish that volume is telling us that price is going to follow, and while we've been consolidating in this range for a while since we bottomed in August, but we still haven't broken above the EMA, the 50-day EMA, but it's consolidating here, and I'm thinking we're going to get a move higher. The RSI is pretty strong and diverging from the price a bit, so I'm looking for us to at least test this 260 level. Now I'll move on to the dollar, which has been extraordinarily strong and continues to be strong. And we talked about this all the time, that since the Fed's decision, it's gotten stronger, and the key levels of support are still the same, down here around 94-ish and 93. But what I want to talk about actually is I'm going to stretch this chart out going back really far, probably further than this, but for now, going back, if you notice here in this area from around the beginning of March 2015 until now, we're in a massive consolidation pattern once again, and we're obviously looking, from my point of view, it looks like it wants to go a lot higher from here. So that's not really boding well for a lot of emerging markets and a lot of commodities and things that we talk about. But it's been extraordinarily strong considering everything that's been going on in the world, and I think it's probably going to get stronger. So here's the S&P, and we had that. We went down and tested that area that we talked about, the 1860, 1870 range, and we've bounced off of it for now. I still think that it's to be determined, but that looks like it could be the bottom. Again, I'm seeing some things that look positive. The RSI is kind of going up here, and on-balance volume is starting to tick back up again as well. So I'm fairly bullish that we're going to hold and at least test some higher levels here. Shanghai, another consolidation pattern we're seeing, which has been surprising considering the fall, but it kind of has hung in tough since August, and I'm looking for this to go higher too and at least test 3,500, 3,600 area. I'm not going to talk much about oil because Tone's going to do that, but I want to show that we have another consolidation pattern forming too, and something that looks bullish to me as well. The RSI is strong, the MACD is strong, and we're consolidating here, and I think the move is higher as well. So I'm thinking that the markets have completed their sell-off for now and are very oversold and could bounce from here. Now here's interest rates and the 10-year note, it's the yield. So it's gotten slaughtered, obviously, since the Fed meeting, but I'm thinking that this may also be forming a bottom as well. We tested the gap. We're getting a little bit of a hammer here, but I don't know how much it has in it, really. I mean, that's probably going to be really dependent on Fed speak, amongst other things, and maybe some economic data out of the U.S., but I'd say it's a reasonable place where we're probably nearer a bottom than falling any further than this. And that's really all I have for now.
Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, so I wanted to talk also about Bitcoin because I noticed on the weekly chart, I also like how the RSI, the way it's forming, and it looks like it has plenty of room to go up from here. So let's see what happens when the price does make a move, $5 or $10, and see if people are ready to go ahead and sell that off, because we've only been having 50 cents and $1 moves lately. So a $5 move is going to be really a big deal to begin with. I also want to take a look over at gold. Now, a few days ago, gold did test this trend line that shows the downtrend, and but it just failed to. It looked like it could have broken out, but obviously it didn't, and it's also gone back down. Now, whether it's gonna go down more to test this bottom here at a 1080 range goes, we'll see. But for now, it tested that trend line and is clearly broken down. And I also, you were looking at the S&P. I also like to watch the DAX a lot. That's the German stock exchange. And yeah, the bounce is not as convincing as the S&P. And I don't know, maybe that has to do with Volkswagen. I'm not sure. But, you know, a lot of people are saying, yeah, this could be a double bottom. This could be some kind of bottom here. But like I said, it's just not really as convincing the last days over in this area. So let's see what happens. I mean, it could easily bounce up and break 10,000 again, but by the looks of it, it's right now it's not doing it. All right, Tone, what have you got for us today?
All right, I'm just gonna do a little bit of each. Here is my typical Bitcoin chart. I liked what George had to say about it. I use the simple moving averages, not exponential. So on my chart, we have been closing above the 50-day, assuming you using the simple day moving average, which is good. But there's just so much resistance overhead. We can easily go to 250, 260, but until we start consolidating above all that resistance in the 250s, I'm in a wait and see mode on Bitcoin. I'm neither bullish nor bearish. It's nice to see the MACD going above the zero, and it's nice to see the RSI is creeping up. But you're gonna have all these problems if we do go into the 255 strong resistance. The RSI is going to be overbought, so it will be time for another pullback. So I think Bitcoin is just going to go up and down the rest of the year. I don't really have much hope for Bitcoin making insane highs by year end. Of course, if Italy and Spain begin to shut down like Greece did, that can all change. Just based on hype, not even because the Spanish and the Italians are going to run into Bitcoin, but the traders will speculate that they will. So that's my quick Bitcoin overview. Let's touch on the S&P 500. And I'm going to be doing my usual drawings right on the chart. So last week, I said that what you have is you have this consolidation here. And traders, I know traders got caught because I wasn't going to risk it. So you have what looks like a breakout, and it turns out to be a classic reversal candlestick. Now, last week we were around here. Last week when we were shooting the video, why isn't this sticking? We were around there, and I said, well, you could play the range. And if you did, it looked like you were about to do great, and then it reversed, and then it looked like it was going to collapse. And I actually did attempt to play the reversal here. Oops, that should be a line. I did attempt to play the reversal here, but it was very, very short-lived, and I closed that trade. This is actual screenshot from my trading account. I have no positions in the S&P 500. And then what you get is another very classic reversal candle. That is as classic of a doji as you can get. And it came under the range. So again, you look like it's going to break down all the way, and it doesn't, and then it reverses and it goes back into range. So trading the S&P 500 right now, I think, is just it's more luck than skill, because it's showing you things, but it's showing them to you after they look like something else. So unless you just want to play, I know what I see, but I'm just going to trade the opposite of what I see because it's not going to work out, then you were doing great. So that's kind of my view on the S&P 500. Here is gold, and I will circle where I got into my position on gold. And I am bearish on gold, mostly because I'm bullish on the dollar. This is where I entered my short on gold. This was on the day of the Fed announcement, I believe, when commodities jumped. And last week, I mentioned that it was looking good. It reversed. It looked like I was in the green. And then we get this giant candle. And on this day where the dollar was weak, but then the dollar became strong again. So I did expect gold to fall, which it has. And my position is now in the green, but I am looking for significantly lower lows. I will feel really comfortable in this position once we fall below this line. So 1100 is a nice round number, but we now have a lower high at just under 1600 versus just under 1160 versus the 1170. So I believe once we fall under, we will keep going. So I am looking for new lows in gold. Here's a chart of silver, and I will circle my position as well, which was the worst entry a trader can enter, because to me this looked like a breakdown towards new lows, which clearly did not happen. The Fed announcement made this look absolutely horrible, and somewhere around this level you start to reconsider if you know what you're doing as a trader. Then again, you need a lot of patience. This is telling you, okay, so maybe it'll work out, but then you get one of these on the way back up, and it once again starts to look like a terrible trade. A few days ago, we had the nice down move, and now it's looking like it will eventually put me in the green. But this is a lot of patience. Silver is a very leveraged instrument. So you really have to be patient, and in order to withstand such a move against you, the smart move would have been to exit the trade right around here. That's when you know you've made a mistake. Call it stubbornness, call it whatever, but I held on to this trade, and again, I am looking for silver to break down. Finally, let's talk about oil. This is the daily chart of oil, which has been absolutely crushing me. I have to disagree with George. I am bearish on oil, not bullish. And again, like I mentioned last week, initially, this looked like the perfect descending triangle to me. So not only did I attempt to short oil here, I also attempted to short oil here, and I did not stick around my position. It was a pretty big position, so I had to cut it. Now, after that, let me switch colors real quick. We can start to draw another triangle, which is bigger. Get this right. Right, so now we have another triangle. And again, I attempted to short over here, which did not work out. And so oil has been really beating me up. So yesterday, I took the short right there. And I said, I'm sticking to it. So I put in really, really widespread. I am tired of trying to day trade oil. It's just been beating me up. So now I am sticking with the triangle. And again, this was very, very scary this afternoon. But I am sticking. I think oil is going to 40 and probably lower. But just to zoom in real quick, here is the hourly chart of oil. And for the listeners, I got in around here. I know it's hard to see because my position is blocking it. That was my position. I had numerous chances to get out with a decent profit there. And after I missed this one, starts to get a little scary. You get a second chance to get out, you don't, and then your position goes red. And then this morning, it's a complete and utter disaster. Thinking it's gonna go back to 100. But then I honestly don't know what happened. I don't sit there and just watch every little second and every little piece of news. I don't know what caused that. I'm happy that it did. Again, there was another really good chance to get out. I wasn't paying attention to it like that. There's other work that I kind of do, not just trade. And I'm gonna sit on this for a while because I don't have any hopes for oil. I think the economy is gonna go down, and I think oil prices have not yet bottomed. All right, sorry, I went on a little too long, but this is how I've been trading it. So back to you, Theo.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks for that. Another triangle formed, another triangle. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching Bitcoin Technical Analysis. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, World Crypto Network. Check out the other shows here. Also, give us a thumbs up, share this video, and any comments, we'll get back to you. Thanks a lot for watching, and talk to you next time.